Welcome to M Squared TechCast, a live show offering the latest news and interviews with the people driving business, technology, and politics in Michigan. Now, your hosts, Matt Roush and Mike Brennan.
Welcome to the M Squared TechCast, and right now we have two guests, not just the usual one.
Yes. The dynamic duo of Dan Griffin, who's the president of Griffin Secure Transport, and his operations chief, Gene Simon. Or Simon, which do you prefer?
Simon, please.
Simon, okay. And so let's talk a little bit about what you guys do. Now, this whole show we've been looking at, first we looked at the legal aspects, then we looked at the physical security with cameras and things, and you guys are the transporters, right? So talk a little bit about that.
Well, that's exactly it. So what we do is we fill the regulatory requirement of if you, let's say you have a grow operation and you want to ship your stuff to a provisioning center, a processor, what have you, the law states you have to use a neutral third-party transporter. And so that's exactly what we do, and we are Michigan's premier secure transporter.
So when was the company founded?
So inception was a few years ago.
Mm-hmm.
So Gene and I actually, we played rugby in high school together. That's how far back we go. It's been a long time. And so we took a little bit different routes. Gene is an engineer by trade. I went the military route. And probably about, 2-3 years ago now, I was kind of shaping up to get out of the military. Gene contacted me and said, hey, what are you doing when you get out? I wasn't exactly sure, and he explained, he was looking to enter this space. And so we sat down. We also have Paul Thailand on our team, who's a cannabis attorney. Mm-hmm. And, we were all very interested, very passionate about the industry for different reasons. And we kind of found out this was what our expertise all kind of, mostly catered to. Mm-hmm. With Paul's legal background, with Gene, his international business background, with my military background, kind of put the pieces together and went after the secure transporter market.
Okay, so do you transport product, cash, or both?
So we do both. So we're the business-to-business delivery, mm-hmm. and so we're not to the end users, but we handle cash and product in compliance with law standards.
Is it like the Brinks kinds of trucks, secure trucks like that, or are they more nondescript?
Very nondescript. You wouldn't notice us rolling down the road.
Mm-hmm.
Our goal is to be, you wouldn't even notice us in and out of the facility.
Okay.
Really kind of quiet and in and out.
So that was part of our security philosophy. Is we thought. More of a pharmaceutical delivery model would be more effective than an armored truck model.
Yeah.
The trucks rolling up to CVS, they have more product value than a lot of trucks cruising up to banks, but you might never know it.
Right.
And anonymity, discretion is their protection. So we found that to be more.
So no markings on the trucks or anything, just really, below the radar then, right?
You wouldn't even know it was in your neighborhood.
Okay.
Yeah, there's a local pharmacy in my neighborhood that I use, and their delivery van is an unmarked white van. So, that's, when they get deliveries, that's what it comes in. Yep. So
sure. And just because we're discreet doesn't mean we're a soft target.
Right.
We have our, security element to us. But again, that's, our security philosophy is, we have the teeth, but it doesn't mean we have to show them.
Right.
So I was looking at your sheet here on some of the questions you wanted us to talk about, and what kind of value do you offer for referring other growers or processors or dispensaries to working with you guys? Is there a commission sort of system or what?
No, we don't work commission, but we look at how we can pass savings back to our customers. And
Mm-hmm.
so the number one way we can do that is by referring other customers and helping us add some density to those shipping lanes. We're eager to pass savings back to our customers, and as these shipping lanes fill up, we're able to do that. So we're able to offer some really, really incredibly aggressive pricing models based off of the density of our shipping lanes right now.
Can you give us some ballpark figure, range, something on your pricing models? I know it varies widely, but
Sure.
What's the bottom, what's the top, or something
Sure,
like that?
you can get anywhere, really in the Lower Peninsula for just a couple $100.
Mm-hmm.
We're really, we're kind of like a FedEx type model. We're going to look at your zip code, where we're picking up and where we're taking it to,
Right.
and then the size of your shipment. Shipping is really not anything that's adding a tremendous burden on the market.
Mm-hmm.
We really get this unique opportunity that we sit literally front row to the growing market.
Mm-hmm.
These medicine needs to get out to the public, and it's our responsibility to make sure we do that. So we're happy to work weekends and holidays to make sure everybody's got product out there.
So most of your business is more product rather than cash, right?
I'd say, maybe a 60-40. As the banking regulations continue to lax, we're able to see people being able to execute payments and cash transfers and wire transfers, and that makes the system safer for everybody. So that's really the long-term goal. But in the meantime, we're happy to all do.
Yeah, I was going to bring that up because eventually, we hope, there's some talk that in 2020 that whoever the presidential candidates are going to push that to bring more people to the polls, and so maybe they'll deschedule that, and then you'll be able to work with banks. And I was curious how that would impact your business. So
we'd really love to see it happen. There's a lot of business for us to do transporting wise. We're happy to move the cash too. But making sure the medicine gets to the patients is our number one concern.
Okay, and what's the size of a typical shipment of yours, or is there a typical size?
It varies really all over. I mean, it's different from growers to processors, and everybody's kind of got a little bit of a different model. But right now we just focused on making sure all the product is readily available and is quickly available to everybody.
Okay, well, I'm going to ask the Mac question now.
go ahead.
Okay, this is a question I started asking people at the bottom of the last recession when jobs are really hard to come by. So it's I always ask whenever we have an entrepreneur on here, I say, "Are you hiring? And if so, for what skill sets?" So, are you hiring? And if so, for what skill sets?
To answer your question, absolutely. As far as what skill sets, our preferred skill sets closely aligned with military and law enforcement. Because it's in our name, we certainly have a security element to what we do. And we are also hiring for people who fall outside that window. Just because you don't have a military or law enforcement background doesn't mean
You'll train them then?
Of course.
Yeah.
And so, kind of starting at the finish here, what we like to do is pair somebody with a more tactical background, for lack of a better term, with somebody with industry expertise.
Mm-hmm.
And so we get all walks of life, contacting us, everywhere from people who had their lives changed by this medicine to guys getting out of the military, such as myself, looking for a way to apply their skill set. And lots of lip service given to military folks. We're a military-friendly company, but I know from experience when push comes to shove, shooting machine guns, shooting artillery doesn't really translate to many, job
Not
skills.
very practical in the civilian world.
Usually,
right?
no.
Yeah.
And it's unfortunate. And so, to that point, love to hire them and pair them with somebody with a little bit more industry expertise. And 12 hours a day in a van together, you got a lot of time to cross-train and really spool up the military guys, vice versa, with the security element. And what that creates is value add.
Mm-hmm.
So when we are interacting with customers at all levels of our company, you're going to get somebody who's competent, A, in what we do and competent in the industry as well.
Mm-hmm.
Is this something where your people are armed or not? Do you carry a sidearm or anything like that? Or
We're working with Laura and the state police to get some clarification if we can get that changed down the road. Right now, Laura is not requiring us to do that and doesn't allow anybody to do that.
Yeah.
But that might be something we'd like to see changed in the future. We'd like to be treated more like a Brinks in that aspect.
Right.
But for now, we have to stay compliant.
Yeah, no, I wasn't sure whether, I've seen the Brinks guard unloading their cash at grocery stores or wherever. I wasn't sure if you guys are like that.
The law is extremely unclear. And, we do have an independent security license. So, there are situations, ultimately, we're going to service the customer.
Mm-hmm.
And we certainly would never put the customer in a non-compliant situation.
Right.
Right now, the only kind of crystal clear guidance we have from Laura is no firearms inside of dispensaries.
Yeah.
So that makes it very difficult. But, the law is changing every day. And that's something we certainly have been seeking more guidance on.
Yeah, let's talk about that for a minute. With the industry that's changing, what do you see as the future of the industry? What might the effect be on your business, say, if it is descheduled federally or something like that?
We'd hope to see more players and more medicine become available into the market. Right now we're sometimes hitting some choke points with what we can process through labs to make sure everything's getting out there is safe. That's really the number one goal right now.
Yeah, sure.
All the talk in the news, whether it's e-cigarettes or other type of products, from a wide variety of things, we want to make sure there's safe products out there.
Mm-hmm.
As soon as we're able to get more product available, we'll help the distribution. We're doing a lot more than just the transport. It's marketing, it's helping people reconnect their supply chain. For a long time before the laws were in place, that was really something that everybody had ironed and figured out. Now, as everybody's going through the licensing process, they need help making those connections again, and that's where we can come in. We're the boots on the ground, visiting 20 to 30 to 40 dispensaries a week, and we leave by asking, hey, what else are you looking for right now? Okay, you guys are looking for flower? Here's 10 people with flower contacts. You need topicals. Here's topicals. You know, we really want to help everybody drive connections back again.
Sure. What's your footprint? Do you serve the whole Lower Peninsula?
Sir, been up to Houghton the last 2 weeks up in the UP too. So if you're anywhere in either Minton, we will go there.
I was going to say, you can't get much farther away in Michigan than Houghton.
That's a heck of a drive.
That's a hike, yeah.
To help there.
Yeah.
Pleasure to visit.
Yeah.
And then, how big is your operation now? How many folks do you have working with you or for you?
Well, we got about a dozen drivers right now, and
Mhm.
we add vans to the fleet every day.
Mhm.
Hoping that we can find some more former law enforcement and veterans to reach out to us, or anybody else who's got a nice clean driving record. And
Yeah, that's
I
your
was
thing,
going
right?
to say, do
Yeah.
you need a commercial driver's license to do this, or just a chauffeur's
under a
license?
chauffeur's license. So
Okay,
it's a
all right.
process we can help everybody obtain, but as long as you have a clean driving record, and looking forward to putting some miles and seeing Pure Michigan, we'd love to have you.
All right.
I would imagine you could find a lot of vets that have just come out looking for work, kind of thing. Is it hard to recruit these folks or not?
We're always looking for more people to join the team, more high-speed folks. And Dan's done a great job of reaching out to various organizations, both, you know, I know at the universities you've been reaching out, as well as to some of the Veterans of Foreign Wars calls as well.
Yeah, but it's always difficult, you know, when guys get out of the military, they just kind of spread to the wind. But we can never get enough, put it that way.
Mm-hmm.
I've certainly been beating the pavement, but you know, always looking to help out fellow veterans when possible.
And then do you guys self-finance, so you pay for everything through operations, or did you get money loans from people or investors or
Venture
anything?
capital, that kind of thing?
Self-financed.
Just
Self-financed, okay.
Painfully self-financed.
Yeah,
Yeah, I know all about that. So
bootstrapping.
yeah, so much fun,
Sometimes
yeah.
those boots get a little hole in them.
yes, they do. So all right. So what else we got here? Can you handle last-second shipments?
Sure. Yeah, we're available for shipments any day. You know, often we're able to pick up same day. I can guarantee next day service, no problem. You know, we fundamentally operate, I think, a little bit differently than some of the other transporters out there. So we have trucks driving by your city almost guaranteed every single day. Just give us a call and we'll get it on the truck.
I'm thinking, though, your biggest market is probably 1 minute? Is that what you're saying? Okay, I just got the 1 minute signal. So Metro Detroit, I imagine, still your biggest market, yes?
You know, we're seeing the west side grow quite a bit, too, in the Bay City, Pinconning area.
Mhm.
It's really taking off also. And that's expanding all across the state, and we're seeing lots of markets coming available.
Okay, well, you know that folks are going to want to apply for those jobs, so give us that website address.
Sure. Go ahead and check out www.griffinsecuretransport.com or send an email to Gene, Gene, at griffinsecuretransport.com. Don't forget to follow us on Instagram, Griffin Secure Transport.
And also,
Very good.
you know, if you're a grower or a PC who has questions, please feel to reach out to us or check our website. We have an FAQ portion. You know, hopefully answer a lot of questions you might have.
Okay, the website is griffinsecuretransport.com. The main email is office@griffinsecuretransport.com. Says so right here. You've got some very nice marketing materials. Thanks very much for being with us today. Gene Simon and Dan Griffin from Griffin Secure Transport.